Discussions continue. Many thanks for staying tuned. Oh, let's discuss some ASUU-related matter right now. ASUU Port Harcourt Zone has threatened to embark on a strike over the federal government's non-implementation of the 2009 agreement. At a media conference in Port Harcourt, the zonal coordinator Stanley Ogun called for the signing of the 2009 renegotiated agreement. He also said the union is yet to receive the 50 billion naira earned academic allowance and the revitalization fund. Here's what he had to say concerning that.
The key or critical burning issues bothering our mind are: number one, the renegotiation of the 2009 agreement. You won't believe that right from 2009, we're still earning the same salary up to today when inflation has skyrocketed. And salaries have been reviewed in the various sectors, but in the university system, we're still begging, and government is unwilling getting that agreement signed. The revitalization fund, which was created to arrest the infrastructural decay in the public university system, has never been paid to our union.
Mr. Ogun called on the federal government to adopt the University Transparency and Accountability Solution UTAS platform for the payment of its salaries and other entitlements.
The adoption of UTAS. You are aware of IPPIS as an imperfect model. UTAS passed the integrity test. When they subjected IPPIS, our team subjected IPPIS to the same test, IPPIS failed. But because IPPIS came from the World Bank, our people are willing to accept it. A test to which the imported IPPIS was not subjected to. It is beyond imagination that our policymakers would reject a software that is truly Nigerian.
All right, so there you have it. ASUU is threatening to embark on another strike. What do you make of this? Should ASUU embark on yet another strike? What should be the nature of this one? Well, there's a term ASUU usually uses for these strikes, and for the life of me, it seems to elude me right now. Indefinite, yeah, that's the word. Indefinite strike. However, it's not the first time ASUU will embark on an indefinite strike, and usually the modus operandi is they embark on an indefinite strike, and then something happens, and then the strike is called off, and agreement is signed, memorandum of understanding, memorandum of agreements, but of course, agreements are never quite implemented by the government, and then another strike becomes somewhat inevitable. Well, here's a story from The Punch. Strike will be indefinite, won't end until all agreements are fulfilled. That's a ASUU. Now, this was Owerri Zone threatening a total showdown with the federal government over non-implementation of the 2009 agreement. So what they're saying from Owerri is we're going to embark on an indefinite strike, and this time around there will be no suspension, there will be no end to the strike until all agreements are fulfilled. Is this an approach that you suppose ASUU should be taking? An indefinite strike until all the agreements are fulfilled? ASUU will not end it or call it off or even suspend it, as they say they do sometimes. A line to open, call 0817 93 0002, 0817 93 0003, and 0817 93 0007. We're on live on facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH, possibly, and WhatsApp is on 0809 030 6416. Should ASUU embark on what they termed the word indefinite is always being used when ASUU talks about a strike. Well, usually, except when they use warning strike. So sometimes I think they have warning strike, and then after that comes the indefinite strike. But this time around, ASUU is also saying that we'll embark on this indefinite strike. We will not call it off until all the agreements have been fulfilled. Would this be a better approach? Because once again, in the past, ASUU will embark on these indefinite strikes. Meetings are called, agreements are signed, and then we hear the agreements have not been fulfilled. Hello, Hard to welcome.
Hello, Daya.
Hi, go ahead.
I can tell you for free that this strike will be sabotaged by still ASUU members. You will be here. Some universities will back out and they will call off the strike again as usual. So if I were to be federal government, this strike issue
no, what some persons or what some universities might do regardless.
What I'm
should
saying,
no what I'm asking is this, just a second. What one person or what some university or ASUU members might do regardless, do you think that it's an appropriate approach to embark on an indefinite strike and not call it off until all the agreements are fulfilled?
I don't think at this time that strike will even solve the problem. Because as it stands today, if ASUU can be sincere to themselves, there is no money anywhere in terms of fulfilling that agreement of 2009. If they will be sincere to themselves, because if we have money, we won't be going about borrowing everywhere, all over the world.
The 2009 the 2009 agreement has been renegotiated.
Yes, they can renegotiate.
It has been renegotiated.
They can be paid instrumentally.
It has been renegotiated.
Let's say it's 100 billion.
If you can hear what I'm saying, that agreement has been renegotiated.
Government should still renegotiate because the economy now is not smiling at all. Government is not finding it easy at all. Let nobody think that once you are federal government, there is one tree where you go and plug money and they will be solving problems. It is not there. You know they say you know they. ASUU will be back on.
So government should renegotiate again.
Yes, let them renegotiate again.
Okay. 90.3. Hello. Hello. I remind I can also join via WhatsApp. The number for that once again 0809 030 6416. So the point once again, very important to note. Should ASUU embark on a strike, and this time around not call it off, not suspend it until all the agreements are fulfilled, whether they are agreements negotiated or agreements renegotiated, whether the agreements were negotiated 2009 or renegotiated last night. Should ASUU embark on a strike indefinitely, not call it off until the agreements have been fulfilled by government, is the issue right now. However, in a commercial break looms, discussions continue afterwards. However, also 5:30, we've got headlines coming up. Do please stay with us.
Headline News, Nigeria Info on
92.3.
Headline News.
Hello and welcome. Thanks for listening. Here are the headlines. Guest house where two bodies were found sealed off in Ilele, Adimini, River State. Information Minister Lai Mohammed says insurgents would have declared Islamic State in Nigeria if not for President Buhari. River State Council for Islamic Affairs calls for prosecution of Islamic groups funding terrorism in Nigeria. A profile operator in River State calls for license to ease operations. A veteran journalist Olaleko Ige calls on political parties to adopt electronic voting ahead of 2023 polls. Nigeria records 730 new cases of COVID-19. On a foreign scene, WHO warns Omicron variant spreading at unprecedented rates. In business, poultry farmers predict further rise in cost of chicken in Port Harcourt ahead of Christmas week. In entertainment, businesswoman Sandra Ihewa could sue her baby daddy, Obi Franklin, for sharing photos of their daughter on social media. And in sports, Barcelona striker Sergio Aguero announces his retirement from football in tears over heart problem. And those are the headlines. Details at 6 p.m. Good evening.
News, 6 a.m.
Your Excellency, I have been asked to summon you to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. That position has always been very clear. The forthcoming election is sensitive and decisive.
News, 12 noon.
The abandoned project by the former administration, it's a problem. I have spoken with my people. We all agree that from today there shall be no vandalization.
News, 6 p.m.
We don't sell assets to consume. If there is need for it, to sell assets, to invest, to use to create wealth.
Tune in to our major bulletins at 6 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m. 6 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m. And our updates every hour on the hour on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
A clean surrounding is a collective effort. Diseases could be avoided with good hygiene practice. Be more responsible with how you dispose waste products. The environment will be better looking without litter and exposed garbage. We love our city clean. This message is from 92.3 Nigeria Info.
What we do goes beyond bringing you the news. We give you a chance to talk about it. Your opinion, your voice.
This is 92.3 Nigeria Info, Port Harcourt.
Your number one news, talk, and sports radio station.
And now, Hard Facts. Hard Facts with Diode.
And welcome back. Still Hard Facts to Nigeria Info here in Port Harcourt. I'm Dyer. Discussions continue. Still talking about ASUU and its impending indefinite strike. ASUU Port Harcourt Zone has threatened to embark on strike over federal government's non-implementation of the 2009 agreement. At a media conference in Port Harcourt, Zonal Coordinator Stanley Ogun called for the signing of the 2009 renegotiated agreement. He also said the union is yet to receive the 50 billion naira and academic allowance and the revitalization fund. Once again, let's hear what Stanley Ogun had to say on the matter.
The key or critical burning issues bothering our mind are number one, the renegotiation of the 2009 agreement. You won't believe that right from 2009, we're still earning the same salary up to today when inflation has skyrocketed. And salaries have been reviewed in the various sectors, but in the university system, we're still begging, and government is unwilling getting that agreement signed. The revitalization fund, which was created to arrest the infrastructural decay in the public university system, has never been paid to our union.
Also, story here cut to the Punch newspaper. Strike will be indefinite, won't end until all agreements are fulfilled. ASUU also saying that now ASUU Owerri Zone has threatened a total showdown with the federal government over the non-implementation of the 2009 agreement. The union said during a press conference at Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka on Monday, that it would embark on an indefinite strike as, quote, the magnanimity of ASUU that resulted in various MOUs and MOAs arising from the 2009 agreement has been spurned by the federal government. The consequences of the federal government's refusal to implement the agreement is that the union has resolved to go on an indefinite strike any moment, and once it begins, it will not stop until all agreements are fulfilled. Would that be, in your estimation, the next approach, or should that be the next approach for ASUU? Because once again, the usual practice is ASUU gives a notice that it's going to embark on a strike, nothing happens. ASUU embarks on a warning strike, nothing happens. ASUU then embarks on a substantive, or should I say, on the main course, the indefinite strike. At some point, no matter how long it is, it's eventually called off after meetings are held, agreements are reached, memorandum of understanding or memorandum of agreement drafted and signed, which government usually or always doesn't live up to. ASUU is saying or threatening this time around, we're not going to suspend, we're not going to call off the strike until every agreement reached is fulfilled. Should that be the next course of action for ASUU? Lines are open, call 0817 93 0002, 0817 93 0003 or 0007. We're live on facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH, hopefully. And WhatsApp is on 0809 030 6416. And via WhatsApp, there will be a comment over here. I think ASUU is like a toothless dog, barking but cannot bite. Since 1960, they've been barking. They bark almost every year. This is not the first time they are issuing this threat. Highest they can do is stay at home for 9 months, will return. Even the government are used to them. That's some hector. And via Facebook, Ozol Namani goes, good evening. Federal government or the relevant authorities should synergize in order to resolve any form of looming strike from ASUU. The future of any nation is strictly embedded in quality education, hence our educational system should not be toyed with. Thanks and may God help us. Oyedokun Sunday goes, God will surely disgrace. Okay, that has nothing to do with this conversation. And back to WhatsApp. Could even doubt, to be frank, I'm bitterly disappointed that ASUU are still talking to journalists alone. Are they engaging the federal and state lawmakers? For the love of God, the national budget is still being debated. Many states are still debating their state budgets. Isn't the implementation of majority of the numerous agreements heavily dependent on the monies being disbursed? They should not only strike but march on the National Assembly and ensure their demands are captured. If they dilly-dally and budgets are passed, would President Buhari take East-West Road money to settle them? And I hope RSU and Ignatius ASUU engage the Rivers State House of Assembly, or Governor Wike would use Oyigbo Express Junction flyover money to settle them in 2022. That's from Tex. Once again, numbers to call 0817 93 0002, 0817 93 0003, or 0817 93 0007. It's an indefinite strike that will not be called off until all agreements are fulfilled by the federal government. Is that the right way to go? Would that bring an end to the unending crisis in the educational sector, especially at tertiary education level? Or are there other options that ASUU or other stakeholders can apply in a bit to finally resolve these issues? Hello, 90.3.
Hi, good evening, Dayo.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Gabriel here. Yeah, Dayo, I'm worried, and I'm sure a lot of persons will be worried too regarding the threat from ASUU to go on indefinite strike. It's unfortunate, it's sad, and irresponsible of Nigerian government to have gone into an agreement with ASUU and not willing to honor it from 2009. Has been amended once or twice, I know, or so, and up to this time. However, I have this to say to the government and to ASUU as well.
Yeah.
We should all know this. ASUU should find a better way. I've spoken about it, another way of dealing with this industrial issue that they have with government other than going on strike.
What would that be?
This hasn't worked. They have gone on strike before. Not once, not twice.
Yeah, but this time around they're saying if the agreements are not fulfilled, we're not calling off the strike.
They said so before.
Oh well.
They said so before, and they said they came back because of blah blah and all of that. They said so before. If you remember anyway, go check it out. But I have to say this: if this happens, if this is allowed to happen by the government, the kind with people. We already have an army of youth who are sitting idle, angry, people who have lost their job, people who are frustrated. Or being in Nigeria alone is enough frustration. And then if you add how many million students to it, idle, but we all have a way of paying for this. Somehow, I'm not a prophet of doom, but this is what I can see.
So what's the other option that you want ASUU to take? What's the other option?
Sorry?
What's the other option that you want ASUU to take?
Let you find a way of engaging with government, more discussion, approaching maybe writing to the president.
Okay, hold on, just a moment. You have a problem with strikes because, in your opinion, strikes have not. Can you hear me?
Making their demand and asking.
Hello, can you hear me?
The federal government, they can even approach the court.
Can you hear me?
The government to compare the federal government.
I need for you to listen to my question. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, great. So you've argued that strikes have never worked or have not worked, and that's why you don't think ASUU should embark on another strike, even though they're saying this time around, if our agreements are not fulfilled, we will not call off the strike. You said they said that before, so you're convinced it will not work. Then you're saying engage government. Why do you think engagement will work? Because several meetings and engagements have been held. Late night meetings, early morning meetings that have lasted whole days. People went on break, came back for the meetings. People have stormed out of meetings, returned for the meetings, and yet that did not work either.
It's like the issue of war. I imagine two communities at war with each other, which we can liken to this. And they say, we have had discussion and discussion is not working, and therefore, would you approve for them to go to war? No. You continue dialogue. And this time, they have been having this discussion with the government. This time, they could write to the Senate. They could write to the National House of Assembly. They could even go to court and say, we want to compare the government to honor the agreement we enter.
As much as war may not be an ideal situation, I believe most people do not want war. Yet, it is still. Hold on. As much as war may not be the most ideal situation for any two communities or more to find themselves in, yet sometimes it might be the only option to resolving certain issues. The same way strikes. It's not ideal, yet. It's a viable way in resolving trade disputes with government. Why do nations of the world stockpile arms and ammunition? Why do they have standing armies? It's because inevitably, as unideal as it is, sometimes conflict is inevitable.
Yeah, but this time we still have options. Why they go to war? Because all options are exhausted. But I'm just
also, trade unions will tell you that strikes are the last option for them.
No, it's not true. That's not true, Dayo. That's incorrect.
How is it incorrect?
correct because we still have options to explore that we haven't explored.
Like what?
Number one, I'm just saying that. Have you written to the National Assembly?
I'm very certain ASUU has written to the National Assembly. I'm very certain ASUU has appeared. Has gone. Well, you may not be aware. I'm very certain as well ASUU has appeared before the National Assembly. I'm very certain ASUU has held meetings with the highest leadership of the National Assembly as well. This time also ASUU has met with the leadership of the current National Assembly to discuss these matters as well.
Maybe I'm not aware of that, but I still believe
that. Whether you're aware or not is not the issue, really.
We all have a way of paying for it. It's just my word.
Okay, all right. Great to hear from you. 90.3 hello. Hello.
Hello, Dayo.
Hello, go ahead.
Good evening.
Go ahead, please.
Dayo, the highest ranking officer in the National Assembly is the Speaker and the President. And to my best of knowledge, this person has been involved time past in meetings. So I do not see any reason. And the National Assembly has intervened in several occasions as well. And the leadership of the National Assembly, like I said before, has going to be part of several meetings. If we can borrow money, assuming no money, if we can borrow money to build frivolous train to whatever it is going to. Education is the bedrock of every given nation. Can't we for once borrow and settle this whole thing once and for all? If we are not borrow, if the one we borrow, we only borrow and be embezzling it and be stealing it, the one will see physical. Go to the university. Apart from those third-floor buildings and all that, if those buildings are not there, there are no buildings. And those are equally part of a struggle from strike. So I believe, how many court rulings have we gotten that the government has ignored? How many? Both in Rivers State, for example, the one we have in the Unity, the demonstration school, and both the federal. How many? So I believe this time, once and for all, there definitely must be sacrifice price to pay. Maybe they might see salary or not. Once and for all, let us get this.
Once and for all. Once and for all, what?
It should be total. If they don't call up, they should not. They should pay this little sacrifice. I know it will be painful, but that is it. They are doing this thing for the next generation. Others that will come. Every day, look at every day they are putting bills for new university, new federal this, and the one you have cannot be maintained. And you are still discussing bill about new university, new education, this and that, and here and there. Giving to them, every constituency now they want to establish a federal university. But the one you have cannot be maintained. What kind of a secret country we are?
So go on. So embark on an indefinite.
Go and talk out.
All right. Hello, you're welcome.
Hello, Dayo.
All right. Still via WhatsApp. Good evening. Also talking about going for strike, they should consider the students and not the federal government, because the strike will not affect the government, but students and federal government on their own angle should try to support the educational system in Nigeria by doing the needful and make sure they settle with us by meeting the demands to stop the strike. Strike will affect the students and not government. Ibuchi from Miche said that. Alright, ASUU's never serious. Maybe they want something for Christmas. When it's given to them, they go back to square one. That's what Abraham. ASUU keeps striking all the time because of unpaid salaries and infrastructure. I would like to ask ASUU what and what the school fees paid goes to and what it's used for. Really? 9213, you're welcome.
Hello, good evening, Dayo.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah. If I should say that federal government and ASUU are joking with the destiny of Nigeria youth. Would that be a wrong statement to make?
No, maybe not.
Because obviously, I think they are. How would ASUU and federal government keep going on circles year after year? This isn't fair at all. I think federal government should attend to ASUU, because I'm sure Nigeria youth does not want strike again.
How about ASUU's threat of an indefinite strike until all the agreements are implemented?
Sorry?
What do you make of ASUU's threat of an indefinite strike until all the agreements are fulfilled? Hello?
Hello, Dayo.
Hi, go on.
I feel the federal government approach. Let me just paint a picture for you. I am living in a house. I'm subscribing a cable of 25,000 naira, and I'm spraying a perfume of 20,000 naira. And things start getting hard for me. They want to pursue my student from school. I'm telling them, there is no money, but I'm still paying for cable of 25,000. I'm still spraying perfume of 20,000. I won't go and say, okay, let me start subscribing for the cable of 5,000 and buy the roll-on of 700 naira, so I can free up money to pay for my students' school fees. That's exactly what the federal government is doing. They don't want to squeeze themselves. They don't want to inconvenience themselves to set up, to free up cash to settle ASUU. They still want to be living large. The senior president is still saying the money they are having is not enough. The budget is still bogus and as ridiculous as ever. Then year to year, nothing changes for ASUU. To be very honest, I know I have younger ones who are in the university. I wish I could tell them, if ASUU is going to go on 2-year strike, they should in this case. Because these people are not serious. Anywhere in the world, any developed country in the world, education, okay, imagine COVID-19 came up and we are taking Oxford as AstraZeneca. Oxford, as a matter of fact, was discovered in Oxford University. The university system dictates the pace of development of any country, anywhere in the world. We're not joking with everything, even with education. I am there with ASUU. If it's going to take 5 years, let them go on strike. Because, you're borrowing money to go and build a railway to Marathi. Yeah, then you can't give out to 50 billion for revitalization of the universities. People are earning the same salary 2009. 2009, inflation was, I think, maybe a little bit above 10%. Today it's on 17% or 18%. You're still paying them the same salary. Our absurdities have no end. So, because it's looking like this, I am of the opinion, if they're going to go on 3-year strike, let them shut down and go completely and forget as if they were ever lecturers.
All right, the thought noted as well. Do have some commercial breaks coming up right now. Well, I'm quite certain in the coming weeks we'll be hearing from ASUU what step they're going to be taking. We'll be here to we'll be keeping an eye on that situation, and very likely it will come up for discussion at some point. A commercial break now. Discussions continue shortly. Please stay with us.